guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. As far as tonight's Monday Night Raw does go, I really liked the show, and also, I thought the show flowed really well. Like, it didn't feel as long as a normal Monday Night Raw. There was a lot of good things on the show. They built up 3 big matches for Survivor Series, but as I fix my camera here, Luke, what did you think of Raw?
I thought Raw was a very productive show. They really did a good job of announcing stuff for War Games. They really did. They did a lot for War Games tonight. And I really did like that. Flowed really well tonight. And I feel like there's a lot of questions to be answered at the end as well.
Right.
Especially with like JD McDonough.
JD McDonough. Is he part of Judgment Day? I'm going to say yes. Because last week, Damian gave him the fist bump. And tonight, the only thing he said to him was, "Did you buy that shirt?" So I'm going to say he's cool with them. And he's part of Judgment Day. But as far as questions, it's like, what are they doing on the SmackDown side of things? Because if you look at it, and we'll talk about this at the end after we get through the Raw review, we're going to look at it a little more in depth. So you would think for the Women's War Games, that's going to be SmackDown. And like
it would have to be SmackDown, really.
If they do it like they did last year, where one brand gets the men's and one brand gets the women's. Because last year, SmackDown got the men's, Raw got the women's. So we go from there and we see what's up. And it's like, I could almost tell you who's going to be in it, but then it's like, well, Dakota's hurt, so she can't do it. And we're gonna dive deep into it a little bit later as far as who can be in the Women's War Games match. But we know the IC title match, we know the Women's World title match, and we know the Men's War Games for Survivor Series in Chicago. So with that, we're going to get into it and more. Well, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff, 4 games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, head over to YouTube, hit that join button, and become a channel member. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game like Alan Wake 2, whether you're buying an old game like Prehistoric Kingdom or Ratchet & Clank A Rift Apart, whether you're claiming the free game, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, and Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Last Friday, Fortnite dropped their Fortnite OG season, which is a 30-day quick little season, but also announced today, Rocket League is getting Lightning McQueen. Yeah. You're going to want to get Lightning McQueen. Maybe you get the OG Fortnite and use this code right here, PWU NLIMITED, for all your Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Also, they've said something about Rocket League cars migrating and integrating into Fortnite as well. So could we be getting Lightning McQueen in Fortnite as well? I don't know, but I'm going to have to get Lightning McQueen in Rocket League just in case to put him in Fortnite because you have him in Rocket League. I don't know, but I'm interested. Use this code for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Again, that's PW Unlimited, PWU NLIMITED, for all your Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. But with that, as far as a Monday Night Raw does go, the show itself opened up with WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. Well, Seth made his way out to the ring wearing a canary yellow jacket, pants that matched, and big sunglasses. Rollins says he retained his world title and wanted to thank 2 people. First, he actually wanted to thank his opponent, Drew McIntyre. He said they beat the hell out of each other, and he wasn't 100%, but he was a little bit better today than he was before Saturday. McIntyre was a man of his word and did not align himself with Judgment Day fought Seth straight up one-on-one. Rollins then said, I want to thank Sami Zayn for preventing Damian Priest from cashing in. He then called Sami to the ring, and Sami came out to a big reaction from the crowd. Rollins noticed that Zayn didn't have Priest's briefcase and assumed, what, Adam Pearce make you give it back? And Sami goes, yeah, that's exactly what happened. This is some stupid AEW. Actually, yes and no. Because technically, this is what I've been saying Tony Khan should have done with Jay White. Am I wrong? You stole another man's property, give it back. You stole the world title, Jay White, give it back. Sami stole the Money in the Bank briefcase, and what happened? Adam Pearce made him give it back. Super simple. Kind of dumb. I wish Sami would have held it for more than 2 days and we would have saw him on TV. I wish it would have played out on TV that Pearce made him give it back. Not just, oh yeah, I had to give it back earlier today. But other than that, I'm still happy that authority was authority and made him give it back. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree with you, but yeah, I still wish they would have done something like that on TV. It's like, hey, give him back the briefcase now and stuff.
Even if it was a pre-taped segment from earlier in the day where Sami showed up to the building with it and Pearce was right there waiting for him going, hey, you're not walking into this building with that briefcase in your hand. Give it to me and I'm giving it back to the Priest. Like, I wish this was something we saw on television, but Zayn then said that's exactly what happened. Rollins thought he probably could have handled Priest, but sincerely thanked Zayn anyways. Rollins was thinking of a way to repay Zayn. Zayn then interrupted him, and Zayn said he stepped in because he's been dealing with Judgment Day for months, and that he told them that he's not going to be done with them until he's done with them. He's like, they hold all the titles except for yours, and I don't want them running this show anymore. He said if Priest would get the world title, then they'd be like the Bloodline 2.0. Zayn fired up and said that he would make sure Judgment Day did not run Raw. Rollins says that he loves Zayn and what he stands for. Rollins appreciates Sami's conviction, but sometimes guys like him don't get what they really deserve. However, Judgment Day didn't run Raw. He did. Rollins said that the Money in the Bank briefcase wasn't the only way to get a title shot. Rollins said he went to Adam Pearce earlier in the day and wanted to repay Sami, and so Sami gets a title shot whenever he wants, thanks to Seth Rollins. He's like, just tell me when you want to do it. Zayn was kind of caught off guard by this. And he was like, what? Really? Zayn said that when he wins the title, quote, because mark my words, one day when I win the world championship, he wants to do it against somebody who is not hurt, who is not less than 100%, not compromised. And I'm like, oh, this bullshit again like they did with Drew. Rollins was then like, really, Sami? Am I ever going to be at 100% again? Are you even at 100%? And Sami's like, yeah, not really. And Seth's like, so? And Sami's like, all right, let's do it tonight. The two shook hands and the match was made official. Yeah, I thought this was a solid opening segment. Could have been better, but I think because we're so used to it being like 50 guys out there to start with Judgment Day and everybody else, it just felt different and felt a little weird for an opening of Raw. Like we talked last week. When's the last time Judgment Day didn't open Raw? Tonight was that night because it's been a while. What did you think of the opening segment?
I like the opening segment. It did feel weird that Judgment Day wasn't opening Raw because I feel like they do that. They do that a lot for Raw.
Yeah.
It's basically like, I said this last week, it basically feels like WWE opening up Raw with Judgment Day like AEW opening up Dynamite with Orange Cassidy title defense.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, is there the YouTube stream up? Because it's like nobody watching for some reason.
No, it's not up.
It's not?
No.
Because the Twitch stream is up. Give me 1 second. Give me
One
one.
stream is up, yes.
Yeah.
But not the YouTube.
Which is weird. It's showing me that I'm live, but then it's showing only 2 people watching. Let me refresh this and check.
Well, it's not popping up for me though.
Give me 1 second. That's why we have way more people on Twitch than normal. Yeah. Dan says no YouTube. But I'm watching on YouTube right now, which is weird. It says we've been live on YouTube for 13 minutes. Okay, hold on. Moving forward, as we'll try to fix all of this, Judgment Day was backstage, minus Priest. Dominic Mysterio boasted about Logan Paul beating his father and Rhea Ripley retaining her title. Priest then busted in, pissed that he had to retrieve his briefcase from Pierce, while the guy who stole it is just handed a title shot later tonight. JD tried to say something, and Pierce looks at him and goes, "You buy that shirt?" Pierce then turned to Finn and was like, "All right, I'm going to calm down. Let's go take out the New Day and figure this all out." Just like I'm trying to figure out why you're not live on YouTube. Or we are live on YouTube, but it didn't send a notification or something. Wait, I may know what happened. I know what happened. It might have set itself to private. Let me double check. What the hell? I have to do the other way. So this does lead into, and give me 1 second to go back to my notes. Michael Cole said that this match came because the New Day dressed up as the Judgment Day last week for Halloween, and it pissed off the Judgment Day. He did not mention they also beat Alpha Academy 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately Wade Barrett did mention it. This then led to a 9-minute match, almost 9.5 minutes. It was the tag team champions in a non-title match, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now it's public. Everyone should see it on YouTube now. It was a New Day against Judgment Day, titles not on the line. New Day were in full control for the first few minutes. Barrett said the Judgment Day gained control during the break. We never saw exactly what happened and how they did. Woods hit Balor with a missile dropkick at one point, and Kingston made the hot tag, hitting Priest with a flying crossbody for a 2. Kingston fought out of a double team, and Priest collided with Balor by mistake. My notes just froze. Give me 1 second. There we go. Kingston hit Balor with a superplex, and Woods followed this up with a diving elbow, but Priest broke up the pin. Priest then drove Kingston to the announce table before Woods knocked Priest off the apron. Priest then it gave Woods a cheap shot behind the referee's back. Priest then hit Woods with a clothesline, and Balor followed this up with the coup de grace to pick up the victory. Now people are coming into the YouTube. There we go. There we go. I'm like, why do we have like 5 times as many people on Twitch?
Yeah, so, I'm going to try to refresh here on YouTube.
I'll also put the YouTube link into the Twitch chat in case anybody wants to switch over. Also, the YouTube link should be on our Twitter as well. And it's in the YouTube community chat. So, Jackie Redmond, this is an interesting, weird segment. Jackie Redmond catches up with Drew McIntyre as he's getting to the building late. Like, it's dark already, so it's got to be past 5 o'clock. I'm like, oh, he's showing up late. And she asks him about losing to Seth at Crown Jewel. And what does he do? He gets back in his car, closes the door, and drives off. Also forgot to ask you, what did you think of the tag match? What did you think of the tag match and the weird Drew segment? While I fix all this.
Oh, I really enjoyed the tag match. I thought both teams worked really well together. And yeah, the Drew segment was a little weird, in my opinion, but overall, tag segment was pretty good. I enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, I thought it was a really solid match. These two teams worked great together. And I thought there was maybe a slight chance New Day wins to get a tag title shot, but that's not the route they went. So, whatever.
Also, Muscle Man, the Twitch chat says, any update on Big E?
Nope, nothing at all.
Well, didn't he say something recently about a possible return?
Last I heard is they talked to him about doing commentary, or there was some sort of discussion about him doing commentary. That's the last thing I heard.
I thought there was something that came out recently that said originally he thought he was going to be back in like 3 months, and that never happened.
So he thought he would be back within a little after a year. Then he said in April or May he's supposed to get one of his bigger like evaluations from his doctor, and then he never gave an update from that evaluation, which doesn't sound good. That was the last I remember. We can go look really fast. Also, Wednesday on AEW, they got a big meaty men match. Samoa Joe and Keith Lee.
Oh, yeah, they're hyping that match up big.
Big meaty men, slap meat.
That should be a fun match, though.
I don't see anything about him talking about a return. He did confirm the reports last year that Rich Holland were getting death threats about injuring him. That's
the day after, like on his Instagram, like people were just sending him death threats.
Yeah. He also recently did an interview and he said he appreciates everything Dolph Ziggler did for him early on in his career. So, yeah, no real update at all. But yeah, the Drew thing was weird. She basically was like, hey, loser, what do you think about losing? And he's like, fuck this. Drives off. Just gone. We got Drew on the show, but it was literally 30 seconds. Like 30 seconds at best. This then leads to a 2.5-minute match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Akira Tozawa. There were CM Punk chants early on, and we know why. Not because CM Punk is coming back or anything, but because Shinsuke Nakamura keeps doing the GTS, and fans think he's teasing the comeback of CM Punk. No, that's not what it is at all. But fans have got it in their head that they know what's going to happen. They know what the plan is better than anybody, and yeah, I don't know. But there were some like CM Punk
I don't think they're even interested in Punk right now.
The report is that Punk will come if they ask, and they haven't asked because they don't think they... So the last thing I read was they don't think they need him now, but if they ever do think they need him, they know he will come most likely. That's basically it.
We know TNA's probably still interested.
Oh, yeah, no. There's interest in TNA, but I don't know if they can afford him unless it's more of a, well, they're the only ones that'll give me an offer, so I have to take it kind of thing.
And like maybe Punk is probably just also like, I'm just too good for TNA right now.
I don't think he would, because he was there at their last tapings in Chicago and stuff. And if he felt he was too good for them, he wouldn't have even showed up to hang out and see everybody and make a point to get there at a time where he wasn't seen. Yeah, it's a whole thing where I think that there's a 10% chance he could go to TNA. I don't know that with any like direct knowledge, but I'm not going to rule it out fully, if that makes sense. Give me 1 second to turn my fan on, and then we'll go. Talk about this Tozawa match. What'd you think about it?
I mean, there wasn't a lot to the Tozawa match, in my opinion. I feel like it was just there.
Right? It was just to get a win for Nakamura.
Now, it would have been good if both men got to do what they want, but I mean, yeah, it was just there.
Yeah, Tozawa shined early. He hit a snap German suplex, suicide dive, tried to hit his big senton. Nakamura got the knees up. Tozawa managed a couple of cradles, but Nakamura kicked out, booted him. Kinshasa win. Like I said, 2.5 minutes.
JT in the Twitch chat says, crazy how people hated Punk in AEW, now want him back in WWE. Crazy.
Maybe, well, because I feel like in AEW, Tony wasn't going to reprimand him. He was going to just do whatever he wanted and know that Tony's not going to do anything in the long run until you've eventually fired him. And in WWE, he tries one thing and they're going to be pissed. They're not going to let him play his games, and he probably knows that. But yeah. This person says, you think War Games stays 4-on-4? Of course it stays 4-on-4. Who do you add to Judgment Day? Rhea? She's already got a match. But who do you add to Judgment Day? What the heck, bangs? No. And no. They can't make it 5-on-5 now. Because who would you add to Judgment Day? Who would you add to the Team Rollins? Like, on both sides, who would you add? He says Drew.
Maybe.
I don't know about that. Actually. You think Drew gets pissed that he didn't win the belt and then he joins Judgment Day? No. No. But then who would you add on the babyface side? That's the question. Who do you add on the babyface side that even makes any sense? Because I don't think Triple H is going to add people just to add people. He's going to add people if it makes sense. Drew would make a little sense on the heel side. But I don't know who goes the other way. We'll look at it. At the end, we're going to look at the rosters and see who can do what and this and that. So after the Nakamura match, Otis confronted Nakamura after the match. Nakamura brushed him off, and later we learned next week, Otis versus Nakamura. That should be good. They then officially announced Rollins versus Zayn, and we got a Natalia video package. They highlighted her long tenure in WWE, including her being a Guinness World Record setter. And I have a question for you, Luke, on that. Can somebody, like, legit, do you think somebody legit should be in the Guinness Book of World Records for something that is predetermined?
I mean, I don't see why not. Do you believe the same way, or? I
mean, because to be in the... Go for it.
I mean, I'm not really like an expert on like the Guinness Book of World Records. So, I mean, if there's a record for something, why not?
From what I've seen in the past, to be in the Guinness Book of World Records, you have to have video proof of what you do. You have to have a Guinness Book of World Records official there to see you do the thing you do. And I get it. With Natty, her records are most matches on a pay-per-view by a female in WWE, and there's another one like that. But the Aaliyah Guinness World Record is the one that I really want to talk about. She beat Natty in 3 seconds or something like that. And now she has the Guinness Book World Records of shortest match in WWE. It was like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, something like that. It's like, with something like that, I don't feel like that should be in the official Guinness Book of World Records book, if that makes sense. Now, Natty's thing of just like, oh, I got more pay-per-view matches than any female ever in this company. Okay, cool. But now, do we add somebody like, who's got the most matches in AEW history? Do we add them to the Guinness Book of World Records? Who's got the most matches in GCW history? Do we add them to the Guinness Book of World Records? You know what I mean? You can pad that and be like, oh, we want someone to beat Natty's record. Natty's never getting a pay-per-view match again, and we're throwing Charlotte, for instance, on every single pay-per-view just so she can get that. You know, in WWE, if it's a WWE record, that's one thing. You can fake whatever you want. But Guinness World Records, you need to keep that thing legitimate. And I feel like putting WWE and pro wrestling in it is not 100% legitimate when it is predetermined and it can be, what's the word I'm looking for, manipulated at any time. If that makes sense. Jonathan says 3.7 seconds. Yeah, I knew it was like 3. Looks like you're reading something pretty intensely over there.
No, so like someone from my high school class actually like broke a Guinness Book of World Record.
Oh, hell yeah.
Record. It was like, hang on, I'm gonna read it right now. It was a pogo stick one, like consecutive.
Oh, pogo sticks ain't easy. I've tried.
Oh yeah, it's a pogo stick one. He had to like do like a certain amount, like I think he had to do like 13,000 jumps on a pogo stick.
God dang, I could do about 5. I haven't tried it in a while.
That's not easy.
No, not at all.
No, this was during COVID actually. So
gotcha. So the Natty video, go for it.
Because we were talking about the Guinness Book World Records. I was like, someone from my high school broke a record, so I had to look it up real fast.
Nice. After the Natty video, this followed by another video with Adam Pearce highlighting all 4 men in the number 1 contenders Fatal 4-Way match to face Gunther at Survivor Series for the Intercontinental Championship. They went to break after the break. Or they went to a break here. As they come back, Pearce found Rollins backstage and was like, you sure about this? You sure you want to defend your title tonight? Rollins is like, I'm born to run, boss. He's like, okay, just double checking. So we got everyone coming out for the Fatal 4-Way match, and Ivar's out there. Ricochet's coming out next, and Michael Cole does let us know why Eric's been gone. He said Eric is gone because he underwent successful neck fusion surgery of the C6 and the C7. He said that Eric announced that on his Instagram last week. So, yeah. More power to him. Hopefully he can come back pretty soon, or sooner rather than later. I know Ivar had similar surgery. I don't know if it was the same part of the neck, but I know Ivar also had neck fusion surgery. Just don't know which discs his was. Eric was the C6, C7. So then we go into the Fatal 4-Way match. It was The Miz, Bronson Reed, Ivar, and Ricochet. Miz played babyface, babyface, babyface in this match. And there was a fun spot, really fun spot, probably the spot of the night, where I think it was Ivar. No, who was it? Was it Ivar or Reed? I think it was Ivar. Took Ricochet up in like a suplex, and then he draped him over the top rope. So Ricochet is hanging over the top rope. Bronson Reed then grabs the top rope, yanks it back. Ricochet flies up in the air, bouncing off the rope, does a front flip. It looks like Ivar catches him for a power bomb, and he Hurricane Rana downs Ivar. Like, it's not like he bounced off the rope and came back. He was placed on the rope, laid there for a minute, and then just bounced. I don't know if the way Reed pulled the rope actually flung him, or if he did. Super cool looking spot. If you did not see it and missed it, go back and watch it. This was incredible. Ricochet seemed to come down hard on his neck, though, and the referee did check on him. Everybody continued fine. Ricochet tried to flip dive, but was caught by Ivar and Reed, who chucked him into Miz. Ivar and Reed then ran at each other like bulls, colliding with crossbodies. After a commercial break, the crowd buzzed as Reed set up Ivar for a superplex, off the middle rope, of course. Ricochet and Miz then jumped them from behind. There was a double powerbomb spot. Miz hit Reed with a springboard crossbody and hit Ivar with a tornado DDT. Those two moves by Miz also popped the crowd because they're not things you normally see Miz doing. Flying crossbody, springboards, tornado DDT. Miz was working hard tonight. You can tell. Miz is like, I'm winning this match, and I'm gonna show you guys why I should win this match. Miz then hit Ricochet with a code breaker. Ricochet's actual move that he usually does, rip coil. What does he call it now? The rip cord? No, the recoil. Recoil. But it's the code breaker. And he hit him with a spike DDT as well. There was then a let's go Miz chant from the crowd, like holy crap. Ricochet blocked the skull crushing.
Babyface soon? Question mark.
He is a babyface now. He's facing Gunther. But yeah, I like they positioned him as the babyface, but I didn't think the crowd was going to get behind him the way they did. Like I said, Ricochet blocked the skull crushing finale and did hit a code breaker rip coil of his own. Ivar broke up the cover with a splash. Reed and Ivar then got on his Reed then got Ivar on his shoulders, but Ivar slipped out and hit a springboard forearm for a 2. Ivar squished Miz in the corner and Ricochet super kicked Ivar. Miz and Ricochet then traded kicks and booted each other at the exact same time. With Miz and Ricochet down, Ivar and Reed climbed to the top rope. Ivar hit Ricochet with a moonsault. Reed missed the tsunami. Ivar went for the pin. Miz went for the pin on Reed. The referee counts 1. He looks at both. 2. He looks at both. As he looks over here, Ricochet kicks out. He then looks over. Miz has still got Reed down. 3. Ding, ding, ding. Miz wins. Ivar thinks he wins. He's yelling at the referee. Samantha Irvin then says, and your winner and new number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, The Miz. So the referee's like, no, he won. Ricochet kicked out, da-da-da. And so as The Miz goes to celebrate, he gets his butt beat by Ivar. Ivar beats him up, lays him out, hits him with the moonsault, and there we go. But they also showed a replay, and it was 1,000% clear. Ricochet kicked out before 3. Well before 3. But what did you think of this match?
Okay, it was a fun match. Very, very unique ending. That makes sense.
I liked it, though. I actually liked it. It was
I
different.
don't think we've ever seen something like that before.
We have. We've seen the double pin like that before, where it actually
We've seen the
actually.
double pin though, but we never seen like the one where like one person kicks out and they thought they won.
Right. I don't remember ever seeing that, but I do remember the whole two guys got the same pin or whatever, this and that. Also, I just finally saw that Ricochet Ray spot you sent me. I do remember seeing that live. I didn't know that was. Oh, now I see it where Ray almost hit his head. Gotcha.
Yeah, like. Oh yeah, like fans were like praising Logan Paul for like saving Rey Mysterio.
He caught him at the last second.
Match.
Now that I'm seeing it. Also, Logan Paul did an interview and said maybe he needs to go train more at the PC. He's like, maybe that's.
I think he's fine.
Well, maybe he wants to learn new things and try new things, and he wants to practice at the PC. But he did an interview with ESPN after Crown Jewel, and he said he was asked about doing more with WWE. He said, "Of course, I'm the champion." He said, "But I think I have to spend more time on programming now that I'm the champion." He then also said, "I have a bit of occupational ADHD, so whenever my attention goes wherever the people are, that's the most entertained. And at that moment, that is WWE. So I'm focused solely right now on WWE and building up the brand as the champion." He then said, "Imagine if I go to the Performance Center in Orlando and train. I have access to all the best resources. I might be something I do because then I'll be even better than I am now. It'll help my legacy, and I'm all about legacy." So he basically says, I know I'm good, but I feel like if they train me, they can make me even better. Because he did two different interviews, one with ESPN and one with Daily Mail. And the Daily Mail ones where he's like, what if I go train at the PC? How much better can I actually be? So, I know Shawn Michaels and Hurricane helped him a lot when he first started with WWE as far as training down at the PC.
I mean, I feel like as far as like him being in a ring, I think his in-ring work is good, but if, like you said, if he wants to like learn new things, then there's nothing wrong with training more at the PC.
Exactly. And I do like that he said now that he's the champion, maybe he needs to be on the show more often. I do like that. But that's not up to him. I mean kind of maybe is up to him.
Well, it's true though. If you're a champion, you should be on the show more though.
Yeah, but we didn't see Roman for a month and a half. Maybe 2 months. You know, there's a good chance Roman does not lose to Cody next year at WrestleMania because they may want him to. And this is no knowledge. This is just me saying, because the way Michael Cole phrased it at the pay-per-view, the premium live event, they may want him to beat Hogan's record of second longest title reign. And Hogan's record is 1,400 days. And at WrestleMania, he'll only be like 1,300 plus. He won't hit 1,400.
God, man, that will suck for will suck for Cody though.
Think about this. Even if he does beat Hulk Hogan in his reign of, length, you can still say Hulk Hogan had a better reign than Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns has defended his title less than like 60 times since winning the title. Hulk Hogan defended it over 400. So if they get close to, because they're close now as far as time frame goes. So when you look at it, Hogan's got like 3 times more title defenses than Roman.
I'd say just have Roman drop to Cody at Mania.
I think that's the plan.
It should be the plan because if he like successfully retains over Cody, fans are going to be like even more pissed than they were last year. Like you thought fans were pissed last year, they're going to be even more pissed.
But the way Michael Cole phrased it at Crown Jewel was, there are only 2 men who have held this championship longer than Roman Reigns. That is Hulk Hogan and Bruno Sammartino. And Roman Reigns is not far from surpassing Hulk Hogan. That is what he said. Now, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but that's what Michael Cole said. He is not too far off from surpassing Hulk Hogan. If he wants to beat... So, I think he's already beat Bruno's second reign because that was only like 1,200 days. But if he wants to beat Bruno's long reign, that's over 2,000 days. That's over 5 years as a champion.
Bang said, let's get Roman to pass Bruno's record.
Also, technically, Roman has only been WWE champion for 580-something days. Universal champion for over 1,300 days or 1,200 days or whatever it is. Because Roman has only been the WWE champion for, I'll tell you right now, 582 days.
He's Bruno's record's like 2,800 days.
Something like that.
Jesus.
It is. I'll tell you right now. I'm going to it on Wikipedia.
You think his reign will ever be passed?
Oh, Bruno?
Yeah.
I highly doubt it. Because, let me see. Bruno's reign is... Alexa, how many years is 2,803 days? 7 years and 8 months. That means Roman would have to hold the title till... Alexa, what is 7 years and 8 months after August 2020? No. Alexa, stop. Alexa, what is 7 years after August 2020? All right, Alexa's fucking up. I don't know. So that would be August. That would be 2027. 2020. It would be like Mania 2028. He would have to hold the title for to beat Bruno's record. Jesus Christ. He's already passed Pedro Morales. He's already passed Bruno's second record because Bruno's second reign was 1,237 days. And Roman, with the Universal title, has... I'll tell you right now. Oh, no, he hasn't beat Bruno's second reign yet. He's only got 1,163 days. But he's getting there. He's getting there.
Hang on. JT says, do they really want Roman to lose knowing Cody won't hold it long?
Who said that? Who said Cody's not going to hold it long? How do we know Cody doesn't hold it? How do we know Cody doesn't hold it like Seth has so far for 6 months? I mean, Cody doesn't have to hold it for 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. He can hold it for 6 months and then drop it to somebody like a Drew McIntyre or a Damian Priest or something. Heck, maybe Cody wins the title and right before Money in the Bank next year, you think, oh, Priest is never going to cash in, and then boom, he cashes in on Cody. That's a possibility. You move Damian Priest over to SmackDown. Anything's possible. You just got to believe. Like we got to believe in the rest of this Raw review. Chad Gable and Otis gave Tozawa some encouragement backstage ahead of his match tomorrow night on NXT for the Heritage Cup, which this is a weird one because he didn't have to give back the Heritage Cup that he stole from Noam Dar. But tomorrow he will be, I guess, defending the Heritage Cup against I don't know. It's weird. They did a whole haunted house thing too at Halloween Havoc with him and Metaphor. I will say, Metaphor, other than Noam Dar and Oro Mensah a little bit, they're not the best in the ring. Like, Noam Dar's really good in the ring. Oro Mensah's getting better in the ring. Like, he was good at stand and deliver, but we haven't seen much of him since. They're a good comedy act, though. I will say that. All four of them have really great chemistry together, and they're a really good comedy act. Gable told him, keep your chin up and go win tomorrow. We will be there with you. So Alpha Academy will also be on NXT tomorrow. Maxine then comes in and it's like, I'm ready for the Battle Royal tonight, and I'm going to be your next women's world champion once I win. Cool. She then tried to dance off like Tozawa, because Tozawa like danced off, and then she tried to dance off. We then got a video from earlier in the day. The Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, they're no longer Diamond Mine. They are the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. They are not calling them Diamond Mine. Like when they came out for their match against DIY, Samantha Irvin said, Julius and Brutus, the Creed brothers. So they didn't say representing Diamond Mine, just Diamond. They didn't say anything Diamond Mine. So hopefully they don't take that name away because I love the name. I think it's great. But they all signed contract.
Those guys, they weren't originally supposed to be in Diamond Mine, though.
No? I thought they were.
Well, the original Diamond Mine was supposed to be like Roderick Strong, his wife.
Oh, you mean like original, what we didn't see?
Yeah.
Well, I think the Creeds were always supposed to be in it, but I think it's supposed to be Marina instead of Ivy. I think that's the difference.
Well, they weren't added until like 2.0, though.
Well, they didn't start Diamond Mine till 2.0.
No, they started Diamond Mine before that.
Did they?
They started Diamond Mine, like they attacked Kushida on like Black and Gold, and they did like Roddy versus Bobby Fish.
I'm
like,
looking this up.
Please.
After the collapse of the Undisputed Era, early February of 2021, Roderick Strong made his return on June 22nd, 2021, episode of NXT attacking Kushida as the Diamond Mine stable along. Okay, yep, you're right. It was Tyler Rust and Hatcherman with Malcolm Bivens as their manager. And Tyler Rust got fired, and then they put in the Creeds. Yep, okay, you're right. I didn't remember all that. That's when I wasn't really watching much NXT. That's why. But yeah, they all signed contracts. Then we're building up something with Raw versus SmackDown because Adam Pearce is like, just think what they'd do with you guys if you were over there on SmackDown. Like he made a joke about how Nick Aldis wouldn't use them right or something like that. And they're like, yeah, we're so glad to be here on Raw. And they signed Raw contracts. And yeah, Ivy Now's like, I'm going to go win the Battle Royal. DIY then show up and says that they're happy that they've signed with Raw and they want to face them later on tonight. And that match was next. It was 9 minutes and 40 seconds. It was the Creed brothers against DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. This felt like an old school NXT match. This was so much fun. And the Creeds were out here flying all around. And I thought Julius knocked himself out at one point because he did like a flip dive out of the ring and like landed weird. Julius Creed's going to be a world champion one day. I'm going to tell you that right now. Mark it. Julius Creed's going to be a world champion.
Do you ever see any of those like Diamond Mine workout videos that they post on like social media?
I have, but not many. I've seen a couple of them.
Those videos are nuts.
Right. So DIY were all over the Creed brothers early on, but Brutus and Julius cut them off on the outside. Ciampa made the hot tag after a break and nailed both men with double clotheslines. DIY double-teamed Brutus, but he fought back and gave Gargano a Samoan drop. Brutus then hit a standing moonsault, and Julius hit a standing shooting star press, but Ciampa broke up the pin. Gargano hit Julius at one point with a reverse Hurricane Rana, and Ciampa followed this up with a running knee. Ciampa gave Brutus a Willow's Bell, but he hit Julius with a fairy tale ending and only got a near fall off of it. DIY then set up for their finish, the meet in the middle, and Brutus took out Ciampa outside the ring. Ludwig Kaiser would then show up and kick Gargano with the referee's back to him, so the ref didn't see it. This then allowed the Creed brothers to hit their electric chair Brutus ball finish and pin Johnny to pick up the victory. So we're still getting something with Imperium in DIY. It's still building to somewhere, something, sometime. But yeah, the Creeds are technically undefeated on the main roster. What do you think of the tag match? I thought it was a hell of a match. Really fun.
Oh yeah, really fun match. I will say, like, originally, I was upset that DIY lost, but at the same time, it's like they didn't lose like a clean loss. They lost because like Ludwig cost them the match, which is fine.
There's story to it. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. There's like story to it. It's not like they lost clean and stuff.
Yeah. The Krill says in the YouTube chat, well, what if Randy Orton joins War Games? On what? The babyface side? For what reason, though? It just wouldn't make sense. You know me. I like things to make sense. So, they aired a clip of Sami Zayn losing to Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber, the last time he had a world title match. Zayn was then shown watching the clip backstage. Jey Uso approached him and said he felt bad about how that all went down. Zayn told him to forget about it. Jey then hyped up Sami for his match later on tonight. Sami then said something about, did you speak to Pierce? And he said, yes. Next week on Raw, Cody and I are getting a shot at Judgment Day in the tag titles. He then said, we're going to run this place when you win the world title and we win the tag titles. So, Sami didn't win. And I don't think Jey and Cody win next week either. Jackie Redmond interviewed Becky Lynch about the Battle Royal. Lynch said that she was ready to fight the entire locker room, even if that meant getting a shot at Rhea Ripley. At Survivor Series. Nia Jax would show up. This was freaking great by Becky. Jax said that nobody can throw her over the top, and that's why she's going to win. She said, I haven't been this happy since, I broke your face. Becky then goes, you broke my face. Then I went on to main event WrestleMania, and you went on to get fired. God dang. What a line. What a line. Lynch then said, welcome back.
That was such a great line. That really was.
Becky then said, welcome back. This was great. Byron Saxton interviewed Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, who were also in the Battle Royal later on tonight. Weird. They showed a graphic online with only 9 women, but there are way more than 9 women in this Battle Royal. So Green basically said a bunch of women in the match didn't deserve to be in the match. They only deserve to be in there because they're champions already. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark showed up. Baszler threatened to destroy whoever she sees first in the match, and maybe she'll make sure that's Chelsea. Chelsea then was like, do something, bestie. Get her. And Piper's like, well, you know, a Battle Royal is every woman for herself. And then she walks off, and Chelsea goes, she didn't mean that. That's a inside joke between best friends. And then they both walk off. Baszler then looks at Zoe and goes, they're not wrong. No, Zoe said to Shayna, they're not wrong. It's every woman for herself. And so Baszler threatened to just win the match. Zoe says she's going to win the match, and there we go. So all the women are coming out for the match. Becky comes down and stops on the end of the ramp. Becky then gets attacked by Xia Li, does not work the match. Xia Li tries to get in the ring. Adam Pearce gets right in her face and goes, oh no! You think you're getting in that ring? No, you're not. For what you just did, you're out of here. Adam Pearce was great there. I liked it. Now here's my question though. Why take Becky out of this match? Is she hurt? Because there's a video going around. I don't know if you saw this. There's a video going around from after the live event on Saturday. She faced Natalia. She is then seen sitting in the ring. And she looks over and starts saying something to the ringside doctor. About a minute later, she gets up and limps over to the ropes. She gets on the bottom rope, waits a second, then gets in the middle ropes before, yeah, I won. Gets down and is limping again. So I don't know if this was a cover-up for a Becky Lynch possible injury or if I'm just looking too much into it and it was just to further set up Xia Li and Becky Lynch. But there is a video out there of Becky after her match with Natty sitting in the ring for a minute, saying something to the doctor and limping. Now, the limping could be selling. All of this could be her just selling the match with Natty, but it's a live event. So I don't know why she would need to be selling that hard on a live event.
Yeah, I don't really know that one. But, I mean, if she is hurt, I assume it's probably just like a minor injury.
Hopefully.
So, probably just day-to-day, in my opinion.
So, Xia takes out Becky. We go to commercial. All these women are just standing in the ring. We come back from the commercial, and they're in the back. Medical's checking on Becky, and they're like, no, you might have a concussion. I don't think you're good to go. And he looks at Pierce, the doctor, and is like, I can't clear her. So Becky out of the match. We go back to the ring. All these women are still standing there, and Nikki Cross is in the ring going like, just staring, not doing anything.
People love the Nikki Cross thing going on right now.
And so Shayna comes out, Zoe comes out, Raquel comes out, Tegan Knox comes out, who's been cleared from injury. And then eventually the match starts, and Raquel and Nia go face to face and realize right here is old Nikki Cross. So they grab her, throw her out of the ring, and kudos to Nikki Cross here, because she just let them throw her while she just stiffened her body and took that bump. Like she played dead weight, stiff body, and just let them throw her, and she just tumbled over the ropes, bounced off the apron into the floor. Like, holy crap. But she was the first person thrown out. Raquel and Nia then got face to face. Again, Maxine Dupree at one point didn't listen to Gable's earlier advice after she threw out somebody, but I didn't write it down. She threw somebody out, and then she celebrated on the apron, which then led to her getting eliminated by Nia Jax, because she's on the apron with somebody, I can't remember who, and she gets the elimination and goes, "Oh, thank you," and then she gets booted and taken out by Nia, who goes, "Thank you," like making fun of her. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance try to team up on Nia. They go at it with Ivy Nile for a little while as well, but Ivy managed to eliminate both of them. She then kicked Carter out of the ring as well and press slammed Katana Chance onto her. After a commercial break, and also this match went 16 minutes. After a commercial break, Chelsea Green tried to sneakily eliminate Raquel Rodriguez, but it didn't work. Her and Raquel were on the... Well, actually, no. Raquel and Natty were on the apron. Chelsea slaps Natty. Chelsea slaps Raquel. She then tries to throw out both of them. They get mad at Chelsea, so they throw out Chelsea. Kinda. They throw Chelsea on the apron. Natty gets into the ring. Then in a funny spot, Raquel's got Chelsea by like the back of the head, and she's like holding her to where Chelsea's hanging off the apron. And she's like, "Want me to drop you? Want me to drop you? Say you're sorry for the slap. Say you're sorry." And then Chelsea just falls. Like, I think she lost her grip on Chelsea's head or something, but Chelsea slips away and falls, and then it's just like, Chelsea's been eliminated. Raquel laughs and gets back in the ring. Jax at one point eliminates Tegan Knox by shoving her off the top rope. Dummy, don't go to the top in a battle royal. That's all I gotta say. Don't go to the top in a battle royal, dummy. Ivy Nile then tried to go after Nia Jax. She got her on her shoulders, but then Jax blocked it. Raquel, Starks, and Baszler took turns of booting Jax, and they all teamed up to eliminate her. Before she left, Jackson yanked Ivy Nile off the apron and out of the match. Baszler and Starks were then left as the final two. Well, they got Raquel out of there, and then they were the final two. They battled on the apron for a little while, and then Shayna put her in the Karafuda clutch. So Shayna puts her in the Karafuda clutch. They're hanging off the ropes, or off the apron, and Zoe's like loses grip. She starts to lose grip again, and Shayna goes, oh, if she falls, I fall, we fall, I lose. So she lets go, this and that. Also, thank you, Sin Saturday. Maxine eliminated Piper. So Shayna lets go of the clutch. The two are still going at it on the apron. Zoe then kicks her a couple times, DDTs her. Shayna falls out of the ring. Zoe wins the match and will challenge Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship at Survivor Series. So yeah, there we go. Going to be Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark for the Women's World title at Survivor Series. What do you think of the Battle Royal and now the upcoming title match at Survivor Series?
I mean, the Battle Royal was fun. Like, I enjoyed it, but we all know Zoe ain't winning.
No. Jackie Redmond interviewed Rhea Ripley, who brushed off Starks as a challenger. Starks then showed up backstage and reminded Ripley that she would have been the champion if it wasn't for Nia. Really? Why? That makes no sense. Nia wasn't even involved in the finish or any of that. Ripley then reminded Starks that she gave her an avalanche riptide and beat all four women basically to retain her title. So beating her is not going to be anything like difficult. Basically, she was like, I beat four women on Saturday. You think I can't beat just you? So next week, Raw's going to be in Washington, D.C., and we have a couple of things already announced. Finn Balor and Damian Priest will be defending the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. The Miz will be going one-on-one with Ivar. Miz probably winning that match. Tegan Knox will face Piper Niven. And Otis will go one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. Zayn then entered a full 10 minutes before the match even started. Zayn comes out, we get a break. Seth then comes out, then we get the intros and this and that. And the match itself goes 20 minutes and 18 seconds. Great main event match. So Zayn had an opportunity to take a shot at Rollins' injured back early on, but insisted. He gave him a warning. He was like, hey, I'm not going to hit you now, but I might have to do it later. After a commercial break, Zayn hit Rollins with the moonsault off the barricade. Zayn followed this up later with some chops, but Rollins fired up and hammered away at Zayn. Rollins hit a suicide dive, but Zayn responded with a flip dive. Rollins came back with a sling blade and a forearm. Zayn tried to cut him off with a haluva kick, but Rollins avoided it and hit a springboard senton and a lion salt for a 2. They battled off on the apron, and Zayn gave Rollins a back body drop on the apron. His injured back, that is. Well, I mean, it's the only back he has, but whatever. Rollins then went for the stomp. Well, no, I skipped the whole paragraph here. Rollins fought back after a commercial break and hit a buckle bomb, but Zayn countered and stopped it into a Blue Thunder bomb reversal and got a near fall off of it. Zayn then hit an exploder suplex into the corner, but Rollins followed this up with a super kick and a pedigree for a 2. Crowd starts chanting, "This is awesome." Rollins then went for the stomp, but Zayn countered into a lion tamer, and Cole called it that, lion tamer. Before applying a Boston Crab, they switched it into, and again, targeting the injured back of Seth Rollins. However, Rollins reversed it into a roll-up and just got the flash sudden pin of Sami Zayn. So there we go. Seth Rollins does retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Before we get into the post-match, what did you think of the match itself?
Oh, I liked the match. I really did. I mean, I know, like, going into Raw, they didn't really like announce the main event. And originally I thought maybe like the New Day match would have been the main event, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
guess it's fun. I kind of thought that was
Raw. I kind of thought that was possible as well. But again, like I said earlier, I thought New Day were going to win and then get tag title shots or something, but nope. Surprise world title match. It says the first time that the world title was defended on Raw in almost 6 months. So, Zayn, who almost had it won, was dejected in the ring. Rollins sold his back as Zayn checked on him and then checked with the referee. You sure that was really a 3 count? And the ref's like, yes. Rollins then shook Zayn's hand. Zayn raised Rollins' hand in victory and started to leave when Judgment Day would run out and attack him. Rollins would then hit a suicide dive, taking out Judgment Day. Jey Uso's music would hit, and Jey would come down and super kick both Dom and McDonough before spearing Balor. Priest then booted Jey, so Cody ran out next to his music as well to even the odds. A ton of officials ran down. Adam Pearce ran down. They're all brawling at ringside, and Adam Pearce jumps in the ring. Adam Pearce said, "I'm sick of it. You four want to always fight. You four want to always fight. We're going to end this. We're going to end this at Survivor Series when you guys go to war in War Games." So it is official. It is Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough taking on Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes in War Games. The crowd then chanted for Cody at the end of the show as Cody wiped out a bunch of security guards in Judgment Day with a dive, and the show went off the air. But Cody just out of nowhere, like, he yells War Games. All of a sudden, they start brawling on the ramp, and then you look over to like the right of the screen, and here comes Cody, shoo, just flying. I'm like, oh, snap! And the show goes off the air. So what do you think of the brawl and the War Games announcement after the match?
I will say Adam Pearce did a good job, like doing the War Games, like saying, but it is still a shame that Regal still can't be on television right now, I believe.
He did a good job of making it his own and not just trying to copy Regal. But I love the way he was just like, you all, I want to end this. You guys want to fight? You four want to fight? You four want to fight? They're going to send you to war. So that was Raw. Really good show. I thought it flowed really well. I thought the overall show was really good. So yeah, I was happy with it. I liked it. Seems like Luke liked it. Now it's time to see what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw as we go and check the polls. Also, if you guys haven't seen it yet, show you guys the Survivor Series poster. The official Survivor Series poster. This is an interesting one. Go to Twitter. I have it on Twitter. Oh, actually, I can do this. Do this real fast. I have it saved. Bum, 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 bum. This is the official Survivor Series poster. I really like it, and I hope Cody does this for War Games. This is the poster. That's the official Survivor Series poster. Triple H tweeted it out right after Raw. I hope he wears the face paint for War Games. That'd be so cool. So cool. Paying homage to his Stardust days, paying homage to Gold Dust and whatnot. So I really hope he wears the face paint. But as far as the polls goes, we refresh all of those. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 88% liked the show. 13% thought it was just all right. Looking over at the Twitch or the Twitter X poll, 77% liked the show. 22% thought it was just all right. And 6% didn't like it. As far as the YouTube community poll does go, 77% liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Some of the comments here. This person says, War Games, fire, 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 death, death, death. Person says, I'm hyped for War Games. Another one says, I love the main event. Person says, Triple H is crushing. It's crushing the would-be so-called competition. Person says, I can't wait for War Games. Another one says, War Games this year is Judgment Day's a nightmare. Another one says 7 out of 10. And finally, the YouTube live poll. 88% liked the show. 14% thought it was just all right. Put that, guys, on. Say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, App Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at the Luke Petke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. We will see you all. We'll see you back here on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Have a good one. See you next time, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to